with Local Global.
There are many difficulties when we were starting BrandSpeakAsia. In marketing, your deadlines were yesterday, your pitch is today, and your execution is tomorrow. Well, all the while planning for projects with maximum results using minimum budgets. I think every marketer knows this. And because of the culture of this environment, it really affected my personal life. And so as a young PR enthusiast, I have been spending very little time with my young children back then. So one night when I came home, my second daughter greeted me and we were playing Barbie late at night. And she said, "Mom, how can you go to work while there is no sun and you come home and there is no more sun?" And it dawned on me, this industry will never stop. It will always create, it will always execute, it will always have deadlines, and I always have to chase after these. But I love marketing. I love creating, I love communicating. So not long after, I joined a group of friends when they were planning to start an agency. And they came up to me and said they needed a leader, and there was I. I can't change the industry from another company, but I can design and build a new culture from a new one. And so I decided I will start anew, build a new culture, doing what it is that I love most. So what is that culture? You know, in this marketing industry, the industry never sleeps, it never stops. So I wanted to build a new culture that will allow you to share your thoughts, your dream design, your fresh creative concept before there was ever Pinterest. That is what I wanted to do in the company. And so it allowed me, when we started BrandSpeakAsia, to just speak our hearts out to the client, present our fresh ideas, and we were quite surprised that a lot of companies will also trust you for what you can bring to the table. And that is how we started BrandSpeakAsia. When you're starting a company and when you're young, there are many challenges that you will face. But in this particular episode, I just want to share with you two challenges that we face, and that is your reputation and competition. You know, when you're starting, you're new, you're young, you're less experienced compared to the other international and global companies that are around there. And the second one is competition. There's a lot more bigger and global agencies that are run alongside you. And I remember competing with these bigger companies, you know, in the beginning. And I recall that I was actually very nervous because I know that they're coming from bigger corporations. They're much well known in the industry. They've been there for a long time. But I remember, you know, I have something to give and bring into the table. I remember in the beginning, I had this client and he became a friend of mine as well. He told me he is willing to work with me, but not for his company because he manages a big corporation back then. But I remember he said, I also belong and I was the president of this association. And there's a big difference between a corporation and an association because an association normally is really not a for-profit company. You know, they're composed of many different individuals and presidents. And I remember what he said to me, you know, I actually prefer to work with smaller agencies because with smaller agencies and newer agencies, they will give you the dedication and the attention that you need compared to bigger companies. And you know, that ignited something in me. It actually inspired me to think that, hey, you know, even if they're already big clients and we're a starting agency, clients can actually trust us. And he's correct. We are willing and we will do everything to give them the commitment that's needed to execute the campaign, the project, the event that they have for us. And because of what the client gave to us, which is their trust, their money, obviously, because they are giving us a budget for this one, they're paying us for our creative ideas, I realized that we really need to put in everything, and excellence is at the core of our values. I realized you win a step, and that's a stepping stone for the next level. You win another step, and that's another stone for the next level. And I realized that it's been 18 years, and what we've really done is that we've taken one step at a time to get to where we are right now. If you're talking about certain milestones, I could name 100 milestones that a company has gone through in the last 18 years. But specifically, I remember perhaps it's been only a year when we started BrandSpeakAsia. This big client actually emailed us. And when we received that email in the beginning, I actually thought, is this a prank? Because somebody from this big bank, it's actually one of the top 3 banks that emailed us. And we were just a year old. said that they wanted to invite us for an exploratory meeting. They wanted us to do a pitch for a campaign that they have for PR, public relations. And I was stunned. I had to actually devote, I think, 5 to 10 seconds of my time to realize, is this really happening? And one of the things that I realized is that, okay, they actually found us via the website, via the internet. So digital is actually working. We weren't even promoting our website then, but they actually found us on the internet. And this bank actually started to work with us, and our partnership has lasted for 9 years since then. So that's one of our greatest milestones. I remember because of that client, we actually moved from our small office in Makati, and we moved to a bigger office still in Makati, but along Ayala Avenue, which is actually a prime street in Makati. And that allowed us to expand our office, hire more talents, and work with bigger clients after that. Another milestone that I remember is on our second year in the business, in the industry, we were actually referred to a global client. And in the beginning, I thought, okay, this client actually referred me to somebody who's working in the United States. I thought, is this real? Is this happening? Soon thereafter, I received another email, and this person is actually flying in from Guam, willing to meet me to explore what our companies can do together. And that email just astounded me because here it is, somebody coming in, flying in, just to spend 2 hours with me in the boardroom so that we can explain who the company is, hear thoughts, what it is that we can offer to them. I was just astounded because somebody like him and this association could actually trust a young company like ours. And so I remember that hotel actually that's no longer there in Makati. He actually flew in. He's an executive director of one of our clients, and he asked me what our company is, what we do best. And I remember being so nervous, but just being in that conversation with him has given me the confidence as well to just go on, just be genuine, and explain to him what we do best. And I believe that that authenticity that we brought into the table made him appreciate what we can really do. And he saw through us. He saw that we're a team of dedicated individuals, even if we're young, we're new. So the reality is we were getting noticed. So to cut the story short, we actually bagged that account from that 2-hour boardroom discussion. And just a funny note, he actually wanted to hire me instead to become their marketing consultant in that association. But I remember being firm with a conviction that said, no, we started this company, we believe in where we're headed, and we know that as a company, as BrandSpeakAsia, we can do so much more for you than you hiring me and expecting me to do something for your company. I believed in what we can do as a firm. And so that account has been with us, and we've been doing their events for exactly 16 years today. So that's really a milestone for our company, and I remember that every person that we assign to that account has actually grown to become an excellent professional in their field. And the reality of doing something like this will actually bring you to tears because there's so much pressure in the event industry. And each account manager that we assign for this particular account has actually cried every time they would organize this huge of an event for us and for this client. But I'm very grateful because at the end of those tears, they see themselves growing as a professional. They see themselves more confident in talking to clients, not just clients that are here in the Philippines, but clients who are actually coming from different places around the world. Because mind you, this client actually brings in individuals, dignitaries, key personnel to our country just to experience the events that we do. And very proudly, I must say, there was 1 year that we actually entertained a queen grace her event, and the rest was history.